Be Here Now by Ram Dass was written in 1971. The main message is, are you genuinely seeking greater truth in life or merely playing the game of recognition and success? Their own lives lacked integrity and fulfillment. His lecture note, he says, were the ideas of other men, subtly present, and his research was not really pushing any new frontiers. Everyone around him was so smart, but there was little wisdom. I could sit in a doctoral exam, ask very sophisticated questions, and look terribly wise. It was a hustle. But what all this boiled down to is that I was really a very good game player. There is a saying, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Ram Dass came to understand what it means to truly live in the present, to get away from the ideas that the events of our life story are that important. When asked how long he thought they would continue to travel around, Das replied, "Do not think about the future, just be here now." Das learned that one way to be aware of our different selves is to adopt the role of unjudgmental witness, watching all the selves in action. The purpose of meditation, he found, is to be free from the thoughts that we normally take to be ourselves, thoughts that are causing our suffering. In meditation, we disconnect from our ego and our senses. If we do have thoughts during meditation, ultimately that will continue as intuition or guidance. This is the best book recommended by Steve Jobs. He read this book once a year. Das observed that the rational thinking mind works through separating the world into objects. That is, the knower is separated from the known. While many of the achievements of civilization could not have occurred without this level of thinking, it has its limitation. Einstein, for instance, famously said that you could not solve the problem of today by using the same type of thinking that created them. Having lived most of his life in a culture that worshipped the rational mind, Ram Dass was liberated by the idea that we are not simply the sum of our thoughts. With this knowledge, it was no longer possible for him to continue to study consciousness as an objective scientific observer. Rather, he was able to look on science and psychology as construct within the larger consciousness that he was beginning to experience. Be Here Now is a classical work of hippie spirituality, but it can take its place as one of the outstanding work of spiritual transformation from an era. Das' journey from Harvard academic to Guru is told beautifully. Das' other conclusion is to avoid taking yourself too seriously. As you get higher up the consciousness food chain, the true size of your ego is revealed, and you have to be able to laugh at your own vanities.